So here's the first thing that you will do in the next some days, pick up every chapter and find out what you don't know, which is important from that chapter, what you don't know and what is important in that chapter. Make a system to revise the whole chapter in just 20 minutes. So take 20 minutes time and see if you can revise the entire chapter. 20 minute के अंदर पूरा chapter revise करने का एक mechanism बनाओ. That's the first thing that you will do. So do that in physics, do that in chemistry, do that in biology. ठीक है. सो मतलब पूरे फिजिक्स में अगर 20 चैप्टर है तो मतलब लगभग 10 घंटे में यू हैव टू फिनिश द होल फिजिक्स एंड लाइकवाइज केमिस्ट्री, लाइकवाइज बायोलॉजी. So well, I've got a detailed strategy over here for you to follow, and let's hope that you follow this strategy in the most elaborate way that you should be doing. Okay, so this is the time when you should spend time only with yourself. So avoid all public interactions for the next 20 odd days. Get into your shell, your safe zone, and sit and study and solve, study and solve, study and solve. So here's the strategy. 5 a.m. to 6:30, and then you take your routine break and you come from 8 a.m. to 9:30. So how much is this? This is like a good 3 hours with break. So ये 3 घंटे में I want you to revise the chapter in 20 minutes. So 3 घंटा है, right? So 20 मिनट में let's say you're doing chapter 1, another 20 मिनट में you're doing another chapter, another 20 मिनट में you're doing another chapter. So you're revising the chapter in 20 minutes. I have taken one more slot over here from 10 to 11:30, where again you are revising the chapter in 20 minutes. So every day you are revising a chapter in 20 minutes. 4.5 hours आपको daily देना है. So the concept of revise the chapter in 20 minutes, you have 20 days, actually 30 days है, but मान के चलते हैं कि 10 दिन भी चला गया है. 20 days. In 20 days if you're going to do rigorous practice program, तो ये 20 दिन में अगर आप slot 1, slot 2 and slot 3 का सही इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो 20 दिन में 4.5 घंटा, which comes to 90 hours, which means physics के लिए 40 घंटा मिला, chemistry के लिए 30 घंटा and biology के लिए 20 घंटा. Now in this slot you have to plan a strategy to revise the entire chapter in 20 minutes. So you still get 40 hours, 30 hours and 20 hours. So that means that's what you're going to do in this time, in this time and in this time, correct? So we've explained what you're going to do in these time slots. Okay? Now 10 a.m. to 12:30 is the time when you will actually pick up a paper and solve the paper. You will actually pick up a paper and solve the paper. It could be a past paper, a mock paper or a paper from some ready publication. So pick that and solve it. Okay? Now after you solve this, you will give this paper to the teacher or to the paper checker to correct it. So you don't waste time there. Let somebody pick it up. Let your parents or brother or sister or somebody do the system for you. And that corrected paper should come to you by 3 o'clock. 3 to 5 p.m. you only see क्या गलतियां हुआ है उस पेपर में and study those mistakes. Correct those mistakes. Spend time on that particular area and rectify those questions जिसमें आपका गलती हुआ है. So you are again having 20 days like I said from today. Let's assume you have 20 days. मतलब 20 दिन में you will solve 20 papers. You will get 20 corrected viewpoints. मतलब ये next 20 दिन में आप ये 20 पेपर्स के एरर्स आप पढ़ोगे. मतलब यू इन्वेस्ट another 40 hours in only studying the errors and mistakes. Is it a good plan? Great plan in fact. तो आज से भी अगर आप शुरू करते हो तो you get 40, 30 and 20 hours for PCB respectively. You get 20 paper solving time. You get another 40 hours to study the mistakes that you've done in those 20 papers. Brilliant plan. Now 6:30 to 8:30 you have an additional time to study 2 mock papers. So pick out 2 mock papers and study them every day. The next day pick out another 2 mock papers and study them. So on a daily base you get an exposure for 2 mock papers and a third paper which you are going to solve. ये 2 पेपर और ये पेपर को अलग रखना. So that means on a daily base you get exposure to 3 papers. मतलब 20 days में 60 papers के ऊपर exposure मिल गया. Now the best thing for this plan is this slot. रात के 12 से लेकर 12:30 के बीच में you will plan the next day. before you go to sleep, you are going to plan the next day. So here's what you're going to do in this planning. You are deciding that मैं यहाँ पर कौन सा चैप्टर्स रिवाइज करूंगा, कौन सा सब्जेक्ट को टच करूंगा, कौन सा पेपर सॉल्व करना है, कौन सा पेपर मॉक में लेना है. So this strategy should be done in the night before you sleep, so that the next day you don't have to waste time. The next day everything is ready. You can directly pick up the paper and start working onto it. Good idea? Okay, so there's a new feature we are adding from now onwards, which is called as the WhatsApp help. In the description, we are going to share with you the WhatsApp link. Okay, so you can take that link and join the group. This is a new innovative idea by our new EP. We have a new EP on board, executive producer Gayatri. You'll be seeing a lot what she's producing, and the content even of this video comes from Gayatri. So the EP has suggested that we better be having a WhatsApp link where students can join the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group will be called as Merit Store Science. Okay, so for all the science requirement, be it CET, be it BITS, be it AIMS, be it NEET, be it all of these things. So physics, sums, numericals, derivations, chemistry, equations are areas where you will sweat as usual. So use this area and use this area to study the questions and the numericals which has come in all the papers. Remember, if you're solving, you get 40 papers and 20 papers. If 60 papers you solve well in some format, if you study the numericals which have come in these 60 papers, you will very easily get a good score. And there's also an Excel sheet where you can calculate the permutation combination of your marks, how it goes up and comes down and all that. You will know that these 60 papers are so beautifully drafted for you, and you can really reach that point. There's also a product called as Revise NEET in 9 hours. That product is for you. This description given down in the link. You can just pick up that product. It's a PDF download and it comes to you on your inbox. Beautiful product. Yeah, study that. Study these 60 papers and you will realize that इतना practice बहुत हो गया. मतलब अगर आपने दिल से काम किया, पूरा जान जिगर लगा के काम किया, तो ये 20 दिन में भी बहुत कुछ हासिल कर सकता है. You don't have to drop a year, you don't have to waste a year, and you can achieve the life that you want just about in these 20 days. लेकिन थोड़ा जान डालना पड़ेगा, full जान डालना पड़ेगा, right? पूरा effort. Parents, if you're listening to this video, motivate your children. Teachers, if you're listening, encourage them. कंधे पे हाथ रख के थपथपाओ उनको, पूरी तरह से मोटिवेट करो उनको, ताकि वो they work hard on this regime. It's a tight regime. So exercise and food is also going to be very important. So when you are studying also, now don't study the whole thing. Now at this point in time, you know कि syllabus में आता क्या है, questions क्या है, important क्या है. So here in this slot where you are studying the 20-minute chapter में पूरा focus सिर्फ उन topics पे रखो जो लगभग इन 60 papers पे आता है. So you can also become a probability thinker. Don't fall for the guesswork, but you can become a probability thinker. 60 paper solve करने के बाद मुझे बताओ क्या प्रोबेबिलिटी रहेगा कि ये 60 पेपर के बाहर समथिंग इज कमिंग व्हिच इज मोर देन 70%. चांस ही नहीं है. सो हियर आर सम इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर्स व्हिच यू शुड बी फोकसिंग ऑन. फिजिक्स, मैकेनिक्स, ऑप्टिक्स, थर्मोडायनामिक्स एंड न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स. इन केमिस्ट्री इट्स मोल कॉन्सेप्ट, जनरल केमिस्ट्री, जनरल ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री, पीरियोडिक टेबल, केमिकल बॉन्डिंग, coordination chemistry. In biology, it's ecology and environment, genetics, cell biology, morphology, reproduction and physiology of plants and animals, and of course basics of biotechnology. So NEET in 20 days, is it possible? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it impossible? No. Yes, it is difficult, but at the same time it is possible. What it is to do the difficult and possible, right? That's an ego booster. That's a proud moment for yourself. Set realistic goals. Don't set unusual fantasy goals. It's good to have fantasies, but it's good to have your leg on the floor and believe in reality. Set realistic goals. So look at the marking schema that you should be knowing. So set realistic goals, and here's one of my suggestions for. So biology 90 questions, physics 45 and chemistry 45. Is it not easy to get 80 right in biology? So किसी कारणवश अगर आपका 80 के नीचे आता है तो कहीं और compensate करना पड़ेगा. Physics में अगर 20 मिलता है, chemistry में if you get 30 that means total is 520, मतलब selection confirmed.
So work for selection, very realistic. If you solve those 60 questions the way I said, 20 का solution करने का, solve it right from 10 to 12:30 and practice 2 mock papers on a daily basis and revise the chapter in 20 minutes. If you practice it in the right way, in the exact same format that I've given you in the next 20 days, then you can be so sure that selection to ho gaya, boss, selection to ho gaya. Selection ho gaya na, matlab great. Now, how do you work for luxury? See that whether you can get 85 here, see whether you can get 25 here, and see whether you can get 35 here. Comfortably selected. Even better, see whether you can get 90 here. Boy, that's magic, right? But realistic could be this. But this is more realistic. To get 80, 25 and 35. Maybe it is more realistic to get 80, 25 and 30. If you can work for this, a lot gets solved.
We work with a lot of children in the remote part of the country, in deep places where they don't have facilities of books, notes, tuition classes. How do we help them? It's very simple. We work with children like you. Your used books are given to those children. So when you finish this academic year, write to us on the email ID given below, and you can volunteer and say, sir, I'm willing to give my books to these children. Maybe you can just come up and say, sir, every month I can donate 20 rupees. You know what 20 rupees can do when all of you donate? Sir, I can donate 30 rupees. I can donate 100 rupees every month. When you do this on a monthly base, you have no idea how we make available books and notes and coaching to all these children across, because we use this money to help these children through Umang Foundation Trust. That's a CSR activity which we do, and we can do it only with your help, with your books, with your old clothes, with every support that you give. We can help. Success is an outcome of blood, tears and sweat. Are you willing to sweat it out? For the next 20 odd days, are you willing to sweat it out? Let me tell you what you already know. I know you know that you can do it. Yes, you can do it. I don't care what you're made up of. Whether you don't get through this, then someone else will get through this, because some days you can be strong and some days life will beat you to your knees, and maybe it keeps you over there for a long time. Life is tough, and so is neat. Life is tough, and that's a given. When you stand up, you will be shoved back down sometimes. Your body has limitation, but the mind does not. Remember, the mind does not. You'll have to focus yourself up in your head and be mentally ready. If you're not, you will never do something physically well. You have to be mentally ready to be physically prepared to achieve it. Only 2% of the world's population are successful. You know why? Because they are positive up here. You know why? Because they are ready for everything. They keep telling up here that I am responsible for the change, and that's the reason why only 2 or 3% of the world's population really succeed. I invite you to be in this journey. In the link down there is a Focus Like Arjuna video. You should see that, because Arjuna was a sharp focus guy, and if you put that focus for the next 20 odd days, you know what can do for you in your life? Focus like Arjuna.